Satan in Islam. They're worshiping Satan in Christianity. They're worshiping Satan all through this earth. Through schools, in their colleges, through your TV, through your magazines, through your books. Everything is Satan. Okay, this world haven't even heard about the real God. At all. Zero. Like there's no percent of the Most High being taught in this earth from this world. Zero. So the Most High had to send the light at the very end, the truth at the end, to expose the lies. You are a very minute minority in the earth with the light. A very minute minority with the light. The only other people that know some of what you know have already sold out to Satan. Masons. They know certain things as they go to higher degrees, but they use this information. Like, for instance, when you get to certain degrees, they'll give a Mason the book of Jasher. They'll give them certain, yes. Like there's certain information you can only get if you are a Mason. So they learn good and evil. That's the six-pointed star. Left and right, the yin and yang. They learn good and evil. Okay? You got it? Now, first of all, let's read Proverbs 22:6. I need you to squeeze in here and read something for me real quick. Since he's getting all those books. You squeeze right up here in this middle. You squeeze, I slide over. You squeeze in here because this is we're gonna bring it out now. Proverbs 22:6. Read it.
Proverbs 22:6. Train up a child in the way that he should go.
Train up a child in the way he should go. Read.
And when he is old, he will not depart from it.
When he is of age, he will not depart from it. So if you don't train up a child the way they should go, Satan gonna get him. This is what happens when you don't train up a child. You go look somewhere and you have this on your cupboard. There he is. This is cute. That is cute. Now don't you know, like when we were growing up, you wouldn't see nothing like this? Nowhere. Only in occultist stores. And look at this guy. Let's see if we can get another picture that's familiar to him. Hold up. You got that book there?
Mm-hmm.
What's that?
It's the book about...
This is the book, the Kabbalah. It so happened that the Jewish people, this is what they study and this is what they worship. They're not dealing with the Bible at all. They're not dealing with the Torah at all. They're dealing with the Kabbalah. Madonna is a Kabbalist now. All your rich stars become Kabbalists. Britney Spears is a Kabbalist now. Let's see who their Lord is. Go, open that thing up. Here he is. There go your guy. There he is. Welcome to the party. Here it is. Somebody hold it up so they can see it. Right there. I need you to, right there. Let me slide him up in there. Train up a child the way he should go. All right? You see how they just putting Satan in there? They have a movie out, The Labyrinth, something Labyrinth. And this guy is the star of he's one of the stars in the movie. This guy here. See how they glorifying witchcraft and evil? Now, show them the cover of Codex Magica. Codex Magica is a book that this Christian did with thorough research to prove that your government structure and all your religious and entertainment guys are worshiping the Baphomet or Satan himself. It deals with the symbolism in the earth and how it all links to Satan. Okay? I don't know if a lot of you noticed, but in almost every Christian church now, you have an American flag and you have an Israeli flag now. Almost on every pulpit. And the God of America and of the modern day Israel is Satan. Okay, from the pulpit. Now, in this book, it gives you a reference book. Show them this in the book. The reference. This. I want you to show them that. In Codex Magica, it shows a reference of a book that he's referring to that's a must-have for all witches. This is a popular book for all witches, which is the Witch's Guide, to let you know what God the witches really follow. They don't tell you. They glamorize witches and witchcraft to make you think it's something good. But in the Witch's Guide, it breaks down the name of their true gods. And guess what? It's the same gods in your churches and in your mosques. The brother was walking downtown yesterday, and he went into a market and found the book.
Wow. That's a witchcraft book?
Yes. Believe it or not, there's a lot, especially sisters, a lot of sisters and young ladies, because don't forget, that's who they are promoting this to. Charm and all these little teenage witch movies. Sabrina, they're glamorizing witchcraft.
This is all messed up. Why is it like this?
It's like this, brother, because you in Satan's world.
Why we don't got our own channel?
Huh?
Why we got our own channel?
Why we don't have our own channel? Well, we had our own channel the other day. They deleted it on YouTube. But brother, you got the channel now. Okay? It's bull. You're right. Now, in the Witch's Guide, it lets you know exactly who they're worshiping with references and the order of their worships. Let's see. Let's see. Isn't this something? There's a little dialogue between Zeus, Athens, and Hermes, which are Greek gods and goddesses. And the brother have it marked. It says, Athens says, and goddesses, if you please, we've been declared redundant wherever Yahweh is in charge. What? But Yahweh has a wife himself. What's happened to Ashtoreth? Divorce and oblivion? To be fair, I think it is the priesthood to blame more than Yahweh himself, you see. Yahweh is the husband of Ashtoreth, which is the Babylonian female deity. And they read this in their books.
So it's like a Bible?
It's like a handbook for witches. They worship Yahweh. The YHWH is, believe it or not, the fallen one, Satan himself. There he is. They put Yahweh. It shows you that the word El Donai, all these different names they give you is Satan. There's more. I don't want to give it all away tonight. In the book, they learn about Tammuz. Give me Ezekiel 6 and 14. 8 and 14. Why would they learn about Tammuz in a witchcraft book?
Ezekiel
8 and 14. Why would they learn about Tammuz in a witchcraft book? Tammuz is the virgin son of Semiramis of ancient Babylon. The incarnate of Nimrod. So they've changed Christ's name. They've used Christ's name, but they're really worshiping the Babylonian Tammuz that the witches worship. You're under a spell in Christianity. You're under a spell in religion. This show you the witches' true gods. There's only one God of all gods. His name is Ahaya Ashar Ahaya is his name. Get Ezekiel 8 and 14. Read it.
Ezekiel 8 and 14. Then he brought me to the door of the gate of the Lord's house, which was toward the north. And behold, there sat women weeping for Tammuz.
They set women weeping for Tammuz. That's your 40 days of Lent. Okay, under the ancient Babylonian rituals, worshiping this guy here and Tammuz, women had to cry and weep for 40 days of Lent. They do that now under the Roman Catholic Church, worshiping the Babylonian Tammuz. It's all sorcery and witchcraft.
Also, Ramadan in Islam.
Say it. Go ahead, say it.
Also in Islam, to add on to that, in Islam they fast for 40 days and 40 nights under the guise of Ramadan, when it's really the same thing as this, worshiping the Tammuz for 40 days and 40 nights.
Same thing under Islam. It's the same God. So I wondered why in the Christian society, when we put up things against Islam, they started flagging our page. Really, Islam and Christianity are in it together under Satan to keep the children of Israel in darkness. Who frequent Islam and Christianity more than us? Here. Us. Okay? It wasn't the Arabs that made Islam great. They had to go make a conquest into Africa and convert us before it became great, so that we can get in their armies and fight in the crusades. So all these religions are aimed at us to bring us under Satan. There's more. There's so much. In the witch's God, some of God's recipes is one chapter. Okay? It says here, believe it or not, you are following a good Christian tradition here. In France, similar cakes called penis, which is penises, were carried in solemn procession to church at Easter and Corpus Christi to be blessed by the priest. Why? Because in ancient Egypt and in ancient Babylon, they follow the phallics. Okay? What do you think the Washington Monument is? It's a man's male organ. Huh? The Washington Monument, that long thing sticking out of the ground, that's a male penis.
Oh, wow.
Yes. That's what they worship. Alright? It says here, in the town of Saints, Sharrington Maritime, Palm Sunday was known as the Fete des Penis. Because what do witches worship? The same thing they worship in the Christian churches. Male organs. Okay, they worship that in ancient Babylon. They call it nature. They deal with all types of freakism and orgies and all that mess up in witchcraft. Alright? Look at this. Somebody tell me what's going on here.
Oh.
You would see some of these images you would probably, look at this mess. Pedophilia.
Oh.
See, and here it is. Y'all might think that this is a little crass, but this is a mess you'll see up in the Catholic Church all day long.
All day. Yeah. Outside.
Grown people playing with naked babies.
Yeah. They put in some Bibles.
This is in the book, The Witch's Guide. Look at these grown people, man. What are they going to do with this little boy? This is what happens in witchcraft in your Catholic churches. Now I understand why Muhammad was married to, what, an 8-year-old girl?
Baby wise.
That's one of the gods they worship.
Where?
That was one of the gods that they worship in the Kabbalah.
Oh, under the Kabbalah, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to get the one on L. I want to get L and Adonai.
Adonai.
Adonai is in here?
Yeah.
Get that real quick. We can't use Adonai anymore. We can't use El. None of that mess. All that's Satan. The only name we can use for the Most High is the name He gave us. Ahaya, Ashar, Ahaya. That's it. Ahaya is His name. Weird, right?
Tammuz, and it goes into it about Adonai.
Yeah. Here it is right here on Tammuz. They go statues they worshipped also with dealing with wickedness. And you would think that this was some type of history book, right? This is a book for witches. This is a book for witches to let them know the origin of the gods they're following. There's an origin or a belief system set up. The difference between witches and Christians, the witches know they're following Satan. That's the difference. They believe it and understand it. Satan don't care if you don't know it's him, as long as you follow him. So he infiltrated the church. Every time you pray down and you say Jesus, 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 you're praying to Tammuz. Every time. You're praying to Tammuz every time. There's no place in the Bible where grown people were sitting up in a building crying. What scripture is that? I'm waiting for it. The synagogues was a place for learning. It reads here on Tammuz in the Witch's Guide. Tammuz is perhaps the clearest and most dramatic example of the dying and resurrected vegetation god we considered in chapter 5. So the Lord is Adonai, which is Tammuz. And his goddesses Astar or Asterisk. And finally the Greeks, the pair became Adonis and Aphrodite. That's your gods.
Did you said Asterisk, right? Is that like a spin-off of the star, asterisk?
Yes.
So we shouldn't be using asterisk. Like that little.
Or the little,
Yeah, the little. Like that.
the asterisk. It could be. It could come directly from a star. That's what it looked like, a little star. Same thing. So as you can see, we're living in a world of witches and sorcerers. All right? Somebody show them these pictures too. Give them these two pictures. Show them those two pictures too.
As you just showed right here, this is Pan. This page right here, and on this other page that you see right here, this is Pan in its demonic form.
And Pan was that, what, the half human, half human and half animal. They used to show them in all these Hercules movies as this centaurs. Yeah, read it.
Pan, the horned god of the mountains, forests, streams, and valleys,
Hold up, y'all.
is almost universally worshipped by witches, as the honor bestowed upon him by the title and cover art of this recent book indicate. The ivy and holly are his favorite vegetation. Thus, the ivy covered the buildings on the campuses of Harvard, Yale, and other elite establishment colleges, and the name Hollywood. Pan, whose father is Hermes, god of sorcery, is often pictured as the Green Man, a vegetation-covered deity. The tale of the Jolly Green Giant is a myth begun by his admirers. Who really is Pan? Well, of course, Pan is simply the devil in a new disguise.
It's a devil in a new disguise. I'm going to show you something too. Remember we was talking about the spirit of homosexuality? From where y'all standing, is this like a man or a woman? Both. When it showed the Satan, when it showed the witch's god, You know, the witch's god is Satan. There's no such thing as a good witch. You can see it right here too. This guy's sitting up here tripping. He's sitting there with women's bosom.
With paps.
This guy is, this is what it is. A man, you know what I mean, with women breasts. See that? That's who they follow. That's why homosexuality is prominent. Every place that Satan spring up and become lord over and control the society, it springs up where you don't know the difference between men and women. That's what happens now. Because that's the spirit of Satan himself. And it's all in witchcraft. It's being promoted. So we're getting taken down and getting ridiculed because we are fighting against that spirit and tearing down all imaginations against Christ. And the churches are excusing all this evil. Why? Because they're under a spell under this same deity. They're under a spell. Okay. We got train up a child the way he should go. You got that, right? Mm-hmm. I'm going to get the scriptures on the witch real quick. Here's the chapter and verse on witches. And then we can pray out. I can answer a few questions. Okay. Exodus 22 and 18. For all you that saying, well, witches, there's some good witches. Who are you to judge? Get Exodus 22 and 18. This is the Bible. Now you understand why witches and Satanists and homosexuals controlling this society. This is why they tell you, well, who wrote the book? That book is the book of man. We don't believe in that. Why? It condemns their lifestyle. So they want to write it off. It's just another book. They'll tell you to go get the witch's god. Go to Exodus 22 and 18. Read that.
Exodus 22 and 18. Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live.
That was the Bible. Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. So it wasn't wrong, okay, during the Dark Ages when our priests used to burn witches at the stake. They burned witch. Yeah, that was good. That was good. That was righteous. They make you think. And then witches get together and cry about this. At one time we were ridiculed, and now we're finally getting our equal rights. This is, you think this is you compare this to a Negro movement? You a witch. It was one time we had to hide ourselves. Yes. Because the God of Israel wants you out of here. You worshiping Satan. We're not going to make no bones and try to pull nothing back when it comes to this stuff. This stuff is influencing our children now. This stuff is, and our children believe more in this than they do Christ now. This is their reality. Okay? This is their reality.
Nickelodeon has shown Zack and Cody or Jake and Drake and Joshua, one of the little kids is wicked. So it's actually a religion that they're starting to put on TV.
Yeah. Talking about wicked. They're going to try to hide it behind names like wicked. Here she go right here. The queen of the Kabbalah. That's Madonna. She's a witch. She's a witch. Okay? Alright, let's get two more scriptures, then we'll open up for questions. Leviticus 20 and 27. Yahweh is Nimrod's father. Read it.
Leviticus 20 and 27. A man also or woman that have a familiar spirit.
A man also or a woman that have a familiar spirit. That means a demon. Read.
Or that is a wizard.
That is a wizard. A wizard is a male Which? Read.
Shall surely be put to death.
Shall surely be what?
Shall surely be put to death.
The Most High say, you see somebody running around casting spells and dealing with that? They need to get put to death. Now, witches and warlocks, you have a chance to repent if you out there doing that. You can probably go get yourself a Milton Bradley a board game of a Ouija or something and think you're playing a game. You're conjuring up demons. You are a sorcerer or a wizard. So if you're doing that, you can repent from it. If you keep on, the Most High going to kill you. That's what's going to happen. The Most High going to deal with you. Read on.
They shall stone them with stones.
And see, witches and wizards, we had a remedy for them in Israel. There'll be a stockpile, you would see what you would call a mold or a mountain of rocks on where you used to stand, with blood coming in between the rocks. Okay? And you might think, that's bad, that's cruel, that's a person. No, that person is a host. A host to bring forth Satan's empire. And you know what? If Israel would have did their job right and not fall to the people and these other nations' gods, then we wouldn't see this mess we're seeing today. This is what happens when you don't execute the Most High's law. So now they're saying, we don't want to deal with the Old Testament. He's a bad guy. No, he was trying to kill all the witches and warlocks and sorcerers. Before we, become America. Before we become what you see right now. He was trying to get rid of it. The serpent seed against the woman's seed. We're the woman's seed. Satan have his seed, who follow all this wickedness. And Christ have his seeds, which is warned against this wickedness. That's why we mentioned earlier, our doctrine is different than the other doctrines you see out here, because we understand what we warn against. So we know what to teach out there to pull people out of these strongholds. So you might wonder, well, why, if they're dealing with the Bible, they have these other books? Because we're going into these books to show the evil in them, to pull our people out of them. Okay? That's why. There's more, but we're going to make a video. We don't want to put it all on this tape, so just wait for the video, and we're going to have that video soon. Dealing with, it's going to be called The Witch's Guide. The Witch's Guide, which is Satan, Yahweh, El, Adonai. Every name you got here for God is Satan. Every last one. Jehovah, every one. God, anything you want to name is Satan. Why? Get me Isaiah 14. Get 14. Read the 14th verse. What did Satan say he would do?
Isaiah 14:14. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High.
So Satan told the Most High after he was hurled that he was going to try to come back the way he was. That he's going back to the heavens. And that he would be like the Most High. So it would make common sense that after Adam fell and Satan became Lord of this earth, that he would make everyone believe that he's God. You think Satan himself would give you the Most High's name in his world? Read it again.
Isaiah 14:14. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High.
He said, I will be like the Most High. Read.
Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell.
But Christ is going to bound him in hell for 1,000 years. When Christ returns. What you looking for, brother? You got it?
That's what I read to you.
Let me read this out of Codex Magic. It says, now you see why I entitled this chapter The Hidden Hand of the Men of Jabulon. Jah is Yah. So this is so-called Satan's high name. Once you get to past the 7th degree, they'll give you Satan's name in Masonry. If you've been thinking about being a Mason, you better back up. It's Satanism. They believe when you get to a certain degree that if you die that once Satan beat Christ in the battle of Armageddon, Satan will resurrect your body. So the Masons believe what the Christians believe in reverse. Okay, that's why you have Walt Disney and all these other characters trying to get their bodies frozen until the resurrection. It says, in the early degrees, the Masons is told that the name of the Most High has been lost. He's even told that he should use a substitute name for God, Nahabon. But later, after he's swallowed whole the rotten fabric of degree ritual after degree ritual, because each ritual degrades you and demoralizes you. It says, the bamboozled and propagandized fellow is finally told that the one he is to worship goes by the name of Jabulon, and that he is now ready to declare himself a man as the great I am. So Satan himself knows that the Most High name is I am. And he's hiding his name. He's hiding the Most High's name with all these other fictitious names. Satan, a.k.a. Jabulon, a.k.a. Jehovah. Satan, a.k.a. Jah. Satan, a.k.a. Eldonah. Satan, a.k.a. Lord. Satan, a.k.a. Allah. Satan, a.k.a. Jesus. Satan, a.k.a. Here you go. That's him right there. That's your God. They go Jesus. Right there. Zeus. Tammuz. There he is. Yahweh. Yah. All right. So we're not going to give it all away. We're going to keep it for another lesson. His name's not Jesus. There was no J's or U's or E's for that matter. All right. So you don't got to go on strike, brother. Get in this war. You are from the child of Israel. We're gonna teach you the way you need to be taught. See these young men here? These brothers gonna teach you how to do it. Believe me. Believe it or not, brother, when they came through, they were just like you. I got a video of when they first came in. Okay? And it didn't take them long. How long you been around?
About a year now.
About a year. That's it. And this brother, hey, what can I say? The Most High got a spirit on this man. So, brother, if y'all come diligently 3 months straight, you'll be ready. You say you ready right now? That's what we want to hear. That's what we want to hear. All right. I'm going to title this, Witches Are Everywhere.